Yeah, hi everybody. Hi. So
You recording on Skype, Colin?
I am not record. You can't record on Skype. You record on Adobe or Dish. No, what I'm saying. What was I going to say? Yeah. So I over the past week I've had a bit of an well, not an obsession, but my eyes have been open to the world of online lists, and I have been looking on ye old BuzzFeed over the past week or so. I've not really paid much attention to BuzzFeed over the past, 23 years of my life. But there was quite I thought, I'm a bit bored, I'll have a look. And I searched noughties to see, those lists like references you will only get if you were a kid in the noughties.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had many a joy on that. And I found a really good list about the top 20 things to do in The Sims 1. It was great. So that's my little story. I like BuzzFeed. It was good. In other news, Chris is wearing the same T-shirt as me, so that's good.
And what a treat. What an
Nice.
absolute treat. Did you watch the Fallout trailer today?
Who?
Who? Fallout?
I've never played a Fallout. Everyone's talking about Fallout 4.
You
And I'm
must.
like, it's like that Spider-Man meme. Everyone's talking about Fallout 4, whilst I'm just sitting here masturbating, and it's just a picture of Spider-Man sitting behind the desk. That's literally what I'm doing. The same thing.
The trailer's really cool. It's got dogs in.
What is Fallout? Explain to. I know there was a game called Fallout 3, which I never played. So please explain to me.
It's got dogs in and that.
Great. Have you ever played a
You've
Fallout?
just got to watch. You've just got to watch the trailer, mate. Just watch the trailer. You'll like it. Yes, I played 3 and New Vegas because I'm a recent convert.
New Vegas, my ass. You tried to get me into Bioshock, and that was crap. Right. Fallout 4 trailer.
Don't you?
Official date. I've only got 301 views. Anyway, right, let's have a watch then. Okay, please stand by. Here we go. This is really good. We're in a room. Oh, there's a dog. There's a robot. It's Call of Duty Nuketown, mate. Well, they're running. They were running away. Oh, there's the dog. He's running as well.
Well, because they've been running from Colin.
Fallout. Are they running from the Fallout boys?
Good one.
Thanks. Oh, is it zombies? That's really original. I've literally never seen that in a video game before in my life.
What, dogs?
Yeah. No, not dogs, bloody zombies. So what is it then, mate?
It's like post-apocalyptic role-playing fun. It's really sick. You'd like them. They're really stupid. Like, they're really daft. And they've got lots of kind of silly humor things, but they've also got some very serious, upsetting moments.
Do you think it's a bit weird that, like, whenever dogs are in video games, it's always German Shepherds? You know?
Yeah, it's because they're military dogs, though, isn't it? Like, it wouldn't be the same if it was a poodle.
a cockapoodle or a shih tzu. Wow, that was really good. I'll definitely pick that up. Anyway, right. So shall we start the?
Let's do a podcast.
Hello and welcome to episode 94 of Heroes of Handheld, the world's premium podcast dedicated to everything handheld gaming, be it your mobile phone, your tablet, your Vita, your 3DS. We like to think that we cover everything, but in all honesty, the two things we really care about are Nintendo 3DSs and 3DS XLs and whatever, and of course the PlayStation Vita. They're our boys. They're our boys. We love them. We're not ashamed to say it. And I'm one of your hosts. I'm Colin. I've been your host since the very beginning, and I'm joined by a man who joined the show late on, but he's slowly finding his feet.
Been here for 2 episodes now, and I'm really enjoying it. When are you going to let me stop making you cups of tea?
I don't like tea. Stop making me tea. Anyway.
I've been here longer than you, mate. I've been in this game since the beginning.
Right.
Do you remember coming up with the name for this?
Yeah, I remember.
So long.
When we sat in the university library, and I remember we were sat there just like making a list of things. I mean, we is it okay to say the name we originally came up with?
No, because I think that podcast is still running.
I think it is. basically, me and Chris came up with a fantastic name for the podcast. It fit everything. It was simple, to the point, one word. And we thought, right, we're going ahead with this. We searched high and low. We couldn't find anything until I came across a little web page, and there was a podcast which had already named itself the name that we wanted to call our podcast. So, me being the lovely gentleman that I was, I contacted the guy who was doing this podcast. It wasn't a very popular podcast, It didn't have many reviews on iTunes.
No, it's worth mentioning. I think our podcast now is more popular than his was then.
Yes, yes, I agree with you. I think you're right. But I emailed him asking whether we want to start a podcast. We're really passionate. We're radio students. We want to start a podcast, and we really like the name we've come up with. I explained to him what the show is going to be about. I said, "Will it be okay if we use the name as well? We'll obviously make it clear that we make different podcasts. And I was very friendly. And I got an email back the next day, and turns out the guy thought he was the king of podcasts. To be quite honest with you, I'm not going to tell you who he is because he's still podcasting today. I still follow him on Twitter just for the irony. He tweets every now and then about podcasts, but he sent us back like 3 paragraphs of text explaining why it'd be very unprofessional for us to take that name as well, how we should think up our own name to be creative. And
I do think he's right, don't get me wrong. I think he had a point. But it was the kind of verbal beatdown that he gave you was incredible.
It was great how we knew more about radio than he did. We studied it at university, and he was acting as if like he was the king. Oh, what dick. What dick. But here we are.
Here we are.
Heroes of Handheld, and this is episode 94, and I haven't even introduced you yet, technically. My name's Colin, and I am joined by Mr. Chris Pearson, who lives in the Pineapple Building in London. Okay.
Hello. From up here on the Pineapple Building, you all look very non-pineapple-y down there.
When you come out of the Pineapple Building to go to work in the mornings, do you just slide down the edge of the building? I mean, it's a nice slope,
Oh, Boris just picks me up in a helicopter.
No, you picture on one of those bikes. Picture in the basket, mate. Great. That's my dream. Anyway, this is Heroes of Handheld. Episode 94. We've got a few things we want to talk about before we get into the proper newsy stuff. But first, I just want to ask Chris, what have you been playing this week?
I've been playing a lot of games on my phone this week. Okay. Including, I've finally started playing Monument Valley. Have you played this?
No, I've been meaning to pick that up for ages.
It's like Echochrome that used to be on the PlayStations.
Oh!
And it's a bit who. You play as this little princess Ida, and you're in these kind of it's like paintings based on that guy's Escher. The kind of paintings that can't be real because of the way that the world works. Do you know the ones I mean?
No.
They're in Inception as well. It's those kind of 3 stairways that lead into each other.
Oh,
so
yeah, I know.
So it's all based on perspective and paintings and stuff. It's really nice. Like I can see why it got so much praise. It's free and there's not a whole lot of adverts, which is really sweet. But then
it won awards, didn't it, for like best mobile game last year?
Yeah, it did really well. And it's another one of those ones that got a really awkward product placement in House of Cards.
Oh no, it didn't.
It was like, I read your review of this game, Monument Valley, and it's just
no. Oh, that's sickening.
It was a bit weird, but. Yeah, it's fun. I'm enjoying it. It pushes you. It's got like the levels of the perfect kind of like bite-size sort of chunk as well, which is good. So I've been playing some of that. The other game I've been playing is a game called Rebuild because it was free on the Amazon App Store, and it's a kind of it dresses up as a zombie game. It perpetuates itself as a zombie game, but actually it's a I don't know what you'd really call it. I guess it's a strategy game where you've got X amount of units, and you've got to take over Y amount of properties whilst not being attacked by Z amount of zombies, I suppose. It's quite good. It was good because it was free. I probably wouldn't have paid for it, but it's got some interesting mechanics. I would say, though, that it gets quite hard quite fast. So like, I think it could have done a bit more, not even a bit more tutorial, but just a bit more kind of a low skill ceiling. But I'm enjoying it. Like, it's fun enough.
That's good. Fun enough is a good review.
Yeah, they've been my two. It's worth before you get into what you've been playing,
which is going to be very short.
I wanted to shout out that whilst we're talking about Android, Hotline Miami came out on the Android store this week. So if you've still not played this, I don't know how good the Android version is, but I'm sure it's it's equally like bonkers. It's got mostly 5 stars reviews. It costs £3.88 if you've got a
That's a very precise.
if you're in the UK. Well, I guess is that probably $5 in the US? I don't know.
Yeah,
but it's obviously we love Hotline Miami on this program. Hotline Miami is our jam, so definitely play this.
Oh, it's our jam, is it? It's our jam. So
I've still put more. Sorry, Colin. I've still put more hours into Hotline Miami 1 than you have into 1 and 2 combined.
Right.
Don't even pretend that isn't true.
How have you found Hotline Miami 2? Do you think?
What have you been playing this week, Colin?
Whoa! Anyway, I've actually not been playing a whole lot this week in terms of handheld gaming. I mean, I do want to start playing a game on Vita called Project Root. I'm not sure whether you've heard of this. I believe it was released on PC about a year ago or whatever. It's basically, there's a name for these, and I can't remember what it is, where you're constantly shooting, like you're a spaceship and you're constantly firing bullets. That's what this game is. You have to explore this universe and you have to destroy everything you see, basically. And it's one of those games where you hold down the shoot button. A bit like, back in Space Impact days on the Nokia phones. It's like an endless runner, but it's an endless shooter sort of thing. It looks a lot of fun, and the graphics look fantastic as well. I've been meaning to pick it up for quite a while, but I might finally do that this week. But aside from that, in terms of handheld gaming, I've not been playing a whole lot. I have been playing a bit more of Batman Arkham Origins on my Xbox, but that's not handheld gaming, so we don't care about that.
How far are you?
I've got to the bit where I don't even know. I'm getting SIM cards to find Penguin or something like that. Right now.
Oh yeah.
It's good, but
good pushing it.
Yeah, it's alright. When are you going to send me Blackgate, mate?
Sure.
Great.
Real soon.
Real soon. But before we get on to the big thing we want to talk about before we start the show proper, I found out that my boys at Telltale. Now, I'm a massive fan of Telltale. I'm always getting the season passes for their new games. Big fan of the Walking Dead game. Big fan of Wolf Among Us, and also massive fan of their new Game of Thrones series as well, which I can't believe Chris hasn't played yet. Seriously, Chris.
That's because, Colin, you know me, I wait till all 5 episodes are out and then I play them all in a row on my Vita in the glorious glitchiness.
You don't. It's great because on the Xbox 360 version there's glitchiness as well. It's just, literally, it never changes. Like, when it goes from scene to scene, it'll freeze. The worst part, but I love Telltale. I love their games, but no one's gonna, kid themselves. They are full of glitches. The opening of each game does a sort of a reminder of what's happened in previous episodes.
Yeah.
At least in the Game of Thrones one, they say previously Game of Thrones. Oh, it takes about 10 minutes. It takes about 5 minutes to load. Each scene is laggy and out of sync. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. And then at the end of the episode, when it goes next time on Game of Thrones, it's exactly the same. Ugh. Now, I remember when I played The Walking Dead on my Vita. I played Season 1 and Season 2 on the Vita. You knew when something was about to come out and jump scare you, because your Vita would freeze for a few seconds. Yeah. And you were preparing yourself. You're like, oh, here we go. Got a button mash. Here we go. Quick time event. But anyway, the reason why I bring up Telltale is because there's a huge sale going on. I think this only went live today on pretty much all the Telltale games. And this covers PS3. I'm not sure about PS4. I don't know if they're even on PS4. But it covers PS3 and PlayStation Vita. And the deals here are pretty incredible. You can get The Walking Dead complete first season. It's great. It's not got a price here. But you save 65%. That's good. The ones that do have prices, The Wolf Among Us, the complete first season. So you've got every single episode of The Wolf Among Us. Chris, guess how much you can get them for? All 5 episodes of The Wolf Among Us.
£6.25.
You're almost there. It's exactly £6.
Oh, so close.
That is such a good price. That's what, about £1.20 an episode? That's unbelievable.
That's a really good price.
You can save 60% on the season pass for season 2. It doesn't give a price here, but I imagine that's going to be around must be about just under 10 quid, I'd imagine, 7, 8 quid. And all the season 2 episodes, if you want to buy them individually, they're all on offer as well. So you save 60% on those. That's so good. If you've not played The Wolf Among Us, you've got no excuse And actually, I'm just quickly going to mention the big fan of the show, our boy Nonscapo. He actually sent me a tweet a few weeks ago. He bought the physical copy of The Wolf Among Us. I would love to know how you're finding that if you're listening at the moment, Nonscapo. I'd like to think he bought it on my recommendation because I pretty much said it's better than sex. The Wolf Among Us is better than orgasm. I'm going to say that right here. So I'm hoping that he finds. I hope he feels the same way.
I'll go one up, Colin. The Wolf Among Us made me orgasm. That's how good it is.
God, it did.
I'm just, like, we've spoke before about how good this game is, but there's a fight scene in the last chapter that will just make every hair stand up on your chinny chin chin. It's incredible. Like when the shit goes down, it's just like the most pleasurable thing to play in a long time.
I've got to say there were a few fight scenes in The Wolf Among Us that made me a bit wet. There was obviously there was that bit. I don't want to spoil anything. There was oh god, what was it? Oh, the bit. Let's see if you can decipher what bit this is. The bit where a certain bad person is walking towards you and you're injured on the floor and you're having to tap the button to try and stand up again. I think that's like episode 3. Oh, that was right at the end as well. What an ending that was. Seriously, if you've not played Wolf Among Us, you've got no excuse. This is a fantastic offer. £6, incredible. And I can't wait for Game of Thrones to come out on the Vita, the Telltale game, because I will play it again. And what's good about the Game of Thrones one is that there's 6 episodes. So they normally do 5, but there's 6. So that's good. And also, just so you're aware, Telltale have revealed that the season 3 of The Walking Dead won't be coming out this year. So we'll have to wait till next year. So I don't think they've actually confirmed that they're working on a season 2 of Wolf Among Us yet, have they? I like to think they are, but I don't think they've confirmed.
I hope so. With the cliffhanger they left it on, they've got to.
Yeah. I'll be really interested to see how they'll progress with season 3 of The Walking Dead, because the ending of season 2, like, there are so many different ways your story can end.
I've said before, Colin.
What?
Season 3 of The Walking Dead, either you change characters or you do Clementine, but it's forward in time 10 years.
I think you might be right there, because they've sort of dug themselves a hole a little bit. They're either going to have to make 3 separate games or do as you said and just like move on to another character or push the story forward a few years. Or Clementine will make a cameo at some point.
Yeah.
Like so that's cool. But yeah, that's my little Telltale rant. And yeah, great sail on. Right, so the big thing I want to talk about is my boy Chris is finally giving back to society the only way he knows how, by cycling. Explain, Chris. What's this all about?
I won't take too much time up on this because it's not what people want to hear about. But if you're a fan of the program and you're a fan of me, then now's your opportunity to show me that in terms of cold hard cash. I've just started fundraising for a bike ride that I'm doing in a couple of weeks, which is the British Heart Foundation, which is obviously like a really important charity over here. Very close to a lot of people's hearts, no pun intended. And me and some friends are going to be cycling from London to Brighton, which is about 56 miles. It's in a couple of weeks' time. If you like me, or if you don't like heart disease, take your pick, then why not throw us some money by going to justgiving.com/Tour de Friends 2015. That's spelled TOURDEFRIENDS, and then 2015, all in numbers. Shoot us some, we'll tweet that link as well because I'm feeling egotistical. If you like that, that's it over. I'm not going to waste everyone's time with it, but if you do want to give some funds towards it, it's an important, organization, and it's going to be a really difficult day, but we will get through it, and we'll get through it so that we can raise lots of money for a very good charity. Colin, how much money have you given, son?
I'm working on it. I'm on cash. Chris, they're gonna take my home. They're gonna take my car.
So I've timed it well.
Take my clothes. They're gonna take every
day on the 1st, and I've started doing all my promo today. So you've got no excuse. No excuse.
No excuse. But no, this is a great cause, and I'm very proud. This may sound quite patronising, but it's the only way I can describe it. I do feel very proud of you, Chris. This is good. It's a good cause. Now, British Heart Foundation is something I believe in very much, because a lot of people in my family have had issues with the heart conditions. I myself have a heart condition as well, so it's all for a worthy cause. Yeah, doing it for me. Give me a new heart, please. So yeah, we'll tweet it and we'll put it on the article for this show as well. So definitely donate if you've got a few pennies or pounds to donate.
If you don't, then that's
you're going straight to hell.
if you don't have, if you want to support but you don't have any money to share, that's fair enough. Times are very tight. Why not send the link on to some rich people that you know and get them to do it instead? That's the way. That's the way to get out of it, or just spread the word.
Yeah, spread it like a rash. Right, so that's all good. Now let's start off with the news. And I'm going to kick us off because I've got the article in front of me here. And it's a very simple start. It's our monthly discussion on this month's PlayStation Plus games.
Hooray!
So this was revealed yesterday. And ironically, this article was written by a man called Chris Pereira. So when I first saw that, I thought it said Chris Pearson. And my mind was blown. But no, it was not Chris. It was his long-lost evil twin. Chris Pereira. That's a great last name. Anyway, so I've got a full list of games that are going to be free to PlayStation Plus subscribers. As you know, a few weeks ago we spoke about the what was it called? PlayStation Plus Rewards or something.
It was like a members only sale, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this is even more good news for you PlayStation Plus subscribers. 2 new games, well, not new games, but 2 games are going to be coming to the PlayStation Vita. And are going to be free for PlayStation Plus members. I'll just quickly read through the PS4 and PS3 games. For PS3 owners, you're going to get Call of Juarez Gunslinger and Cloud.
Call of what? Sorry.
Call of Juarez Gunslinger.
Call of Juarez.
Juarez, isn't it? Isn't that how you say it?
Call of Juarez, isn't it? Off of Mexico.
What?
Call of Juarez.
No way. Is it?
Call of Juarez. I think so. It's certainly not Call of Juarez.
Why is there a J in it then? Doesn't make sense.
Like Mexican, isn't it? I don't know.
Great. The only Mexican I like is chili con carne. And also a game called Cloudberry Kingdom, whatever that is.
Cloudberry Kingdom, FYI. Sorry to interrupt again. God, I'm terrible. Is on Wii U and it's incredibly fun. It's
Is it the dog's pajamas?
It's very much. It's the cat's t-shirt. It's fast-paced platforming with this killer soundtrack. It's mental. It's absolutely bonkers, but it's definitely worth checking out, especially when it's free on PlayStation Plus.
Some people think I'm bonkers. I just think I'm free. So PS4, you're going to be getting Super Exploding Zoo, Futuridium EP Deluxe, Skulls of the Shotgun, Bona Fide Edition, and Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. I think Ground Zeroes, wasn't that the one that was really short? And was
it's like sort of teaser, isn't it? The taster.
Apparently it's good, but people were angry that they released it as like a full-fledged game and it should have just been like DLC or something. Anyway, I skipped over those first 2 names because those 2 games are also going to be free for PlayStation Vita owners. That is Futuridium EP Deluxe, which I actually reviewed for another site I work for. I'm not naming any names. And I gave it very favourable reviews. It's a very fun game. It's it's sort of like a puzzle game and a space adventure. It's like polygon, artistic style. It's really fun. There's like loads of different space structures you have to navigate. You have to collect all these blocks. And if you don't collect all the blocks, you run out of power, and you have to collect them all before the level. Basically, if you don't collect them all before your energy bar runs out, you die, basically. And it's really fun. It gets really hectic. It's a really gorgeous game as well. I mean, if you haven't played this yet, you've got no excuse now because it's free on PS4 and PlayStation Vita. So definitely check that out. And also, now I'm excited about this. This game's been a long time coming, just like me in bed last night. This is Super Exploding Zoo. And this is from the same developer who created Frobisher Says.
Frobisher Says.
Do you remember that? Do you remember Frobisher Says?
Of course I remember Frobisher Says.
Fans. What other sayings were there from Frobisher Says?
There was scratch the toffs.
Scratch my back. I love that. Oh, I need to play that again. So if you played Frobisher Says, it's a very similar art style. But as the name suggests, you are controlling animals in a zoo where all the animals explode. So yeah, Super Exploding Zoo. I'm definitely going to be checking that out. I've been looking forward to this for a while. I'm trying to remember the name of the company who did Frobisher Says. Oh, Chris, find out for me.
Honey Slug?
Yes, Honey Slug, that was it. So this is from Honey Slug. So if you like Frobisher Says, you're probably going to like Super Exploding Zoo. You know, They don't take themselves very seriously, Honey Slug. It's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek. Tongue-in-cheek? What does that mean?
Ah, a bit of a tongue-in-cheek organisation.
I like teaks. Tongue-in-cheek gaming developer, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I look forward to playing those. So they are all free for the next month, and it's saying here they'll most likely be free on PlayStation Plus until July the 7th. So go get those games now whilst they're hot. Boom. Over to Chris.
Nice. They sound good.
Nice.
I'm going to start with. Let's talk about the new Pokemon Mystery Dungeon game.
I like how excited you sound about this. You should be real pumped. Come on.
Well, come on. We'll get into this. So this got announced last week, and then more details have come out about it this week, including a release date. It comes out in Japan on September the 17th, and then it comes out over here in the winter, apparently, or at least it comes out in winter in the United States, so I assume that'll be over here as well. The cool thing, so have you played a Mystery Dungeon game before, Colin?
I have not.
So you start, it's a top-down 2D game, and you start off and you find that you're Colin, but you've been transformed. Hello, Colin, but you've been transformed into the body of a Pokemon. Okay. So you're Colin, but you take this quiz, and then it's like, oh, actually, you're not Colin, you're Pikachu or whatever.
I'm not Colin.
Yeah, and you spend the rest of the game trying to find out why you've been turned into a Pokemon, how you can go back, and it's called a roguelike as the genre. So you go into dungeons that are randomly generated, and you have to get further and further down. Except it's not quite like a roguelike, because in proper roguelikes, you will die when you die. That's it. You've lost your character. Whereas in this, if you die, you just go back to the start, because obviously it's Pokemon and it's meant to be.
And it's Nintendo, so
yeah, so they're not going to do it killers. But the really cool thing that got announced is you'll be able to play as the Pokemon that you start off with. Before it's been kind of like muted on who they've picked and stuff. Like it's been the kind of mascot people, or it's been the recent starters and some old favorites. On this one, you'll be able to start off as any of the starter Pokemon from all of the different generations of Pokemon. So that's your red, blues, your gold, silvers, your rubies, your emeralds, your black, your white, your X, your Y, whatever the one is that I've missed out, the platinum and diamond ones, all of them. You'll be able to play as all of the starters and Pikachu and Riolu. And apparently it's going to feature all 720 different Pokemon. You'll be able to encounter every single Pokemon. So this is really cool. What I like about this is it feels like the game is making the leap from roguelike game with a Pokemon skin to Pokemon game with roguelike features. It's expected in North America late 2015, Europe early 2016. All 720 types of Pokemon will appear, 20 of which will be playable, and hopefully there'll be more to come on it. I really like these games. When I've got into them, I found them really enjoyable. I think sometimes they suffer because of a lack of compared to traditional Pokemon games. But if this is going to be their big Pokemon release of the year, then I hope it's good, because it should be. If you can meet all of the different bloody Pokemon, that's incredible. So fingers crossed.
I'm trying to find some images from the actual game itself. I'm struggling. I'm looking on Google and I can't actually. Oh, there's one. That looks very cute. It does sound interesting. I've never actually heard of Pokemon. You mentioned it last week, but I've never actually heard of Pokemon.
It's worth pointing out that there's a reveal trailer as well. I'm just watching it at the moment, which we'll embed in the article. It's from Game Explain on YouTube. Makes the graphics look really nice. Features loads of different Pokemons. It shows you a little bit of what's going on. And it's got a really nice art style. I just think it's going to be really good fun. I really get into these games, I like that they're Pokemon games, but with kind of these wacko stories. And the trailer makes it look so good.
Have you got a price?
No, nothing like that yet.
That's a shame. It's a bit different to the normal Pokemon fare, isn't it? The old looking through tall grass and finding big rats to fight.
Normally these games come out, but they're kind of hushed. They're not hushed under the carpet, but they're not made a big deal of. Whereas if this is going to be their Pokemon game this year, then I'm hoping that they're going to, really promote it and really plug it, because it looks like it should be really good.
Nintendo always put a lot of, a lot behind their Pokemon games, because they know they're going to be big sellers. As soon as they put the Pokemon name on the game, it's going to sell.
Mm.
They know that. I mean, do we know? Have we discussed what Nintendo are going to be doing at E3 this year?
Not really. When even is E3?
It's in 2 weeks, so not next episode. The episode after, we'll be talking about it.
Yeah, they're doing
Look forward to that.
they're doing Nintendo Directs, and then they're doing this
Yeah.
Nintendo World Championship thing, which is like a kind of like a competition for people to come and play on a stage.
I'm actually really excited for E3. I do like watching the live streams, but it's always annoying because like Sony's one's always, PlayStation one is always like 2 a.m. or something stupid like that.
Yeah, they get shitted on timing wise a little bit, don't they?
I don't know. They always make me excited, but they're like, what was the big thing last year from PlayStation? It was Bloodborne, wasn't it? That was a big one.
I don't really remember, to be honest. I didn't watch it last time around.
I remember watching it. We probably spoke about it as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that's in 2 weeks' time. So there'll be a lot of hope. Well, let's hope there's something to talk about Vita relevant. You know, we wait and see.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. So that's cool. And I've got 2 news stories here I want to just quickly whip out and stroke very lovingly until they spurt out goodness. So I've got one article here which is about PlayStation Now, which is still in closed beta here in the UK. I think at E3, do you reckon we're going to get an actual release date for PlayStation Now, like an actual general on sale date?
We can but dream, Colin. We can but dream.
People are predicting it'll be later this year. It's released, so it wouldn't surprise me if we do get a release date. Well, not a release date, but a date when PlayStation Now will be available for everyone. So look forward to that, because it's been out in America for quite a while now. And on that subject, 5 new games have been added to PlayStation Now's roster of games, which brings the total to just over 125 titles. And these games that you can now play if you're a PlayStation Now subscriber in America is The Puppeteer, which I've never played. I've heard that's quite good, though. That's a platform puzzler. The critically acclaimed Braid.
Braid is sick.
Braid, let me have a look. Braid, I know
Braid is really, really good.
Oh, for God's sake.
It's quite heart-wrenching, but it's really good.
I just searched Braid on Google, and it's just showing me a lot of females with braids in their hair.
Well, what did you expect?
What did I expect?
Can I interject you for a fleeting second?
Oh, if you must.
Shout out to, I just had a little email on me mobile. Shout out to, we've got someone who's watching on YouTube who left us a little comment, and that person I will be able to tell you when my phone loads their name. Shout out to Casper. Casper, hello, thank you for watching.
That's
Casper Aljaf. Hi Casper, thanks for watching. Back to you, Colin.
That's a great name, Casper. Like if it's
Casper with a K as well.
Yeah, cool. Oh my god, that makes him even cooler. He's our #1 hero. Anyway, what was I saying? So PlayStation Now, right? So 3 new games: Braid, Puppeteer, Sniper Ghost Warrior 2. Those sniper games are supposed to be quite good, so that's good. Adventure Time Explore the Dungeon. Is this the actual name of it? I've got Adventure Time Explore the Dungeon because I don't know, or is that just the guy writing this article being funny?
No, that's the title. That's Adventure Time sense of humour.
I did watch a few episodes of Adventure Time on Netflix, and it was humorous, but I couldn't really get into it. You know, give me BoJack Horseman any day, any day. And the other game that's going to be available on PlayStation Now is Way of the Samurai 3. So those 5 games are now going to be available for you to stream on PlayStation Now in America. Of course, we still wait for it to be released here in the United Kingdom, which hopefully we will get a release date E3. So yeah, that's that. And another bit of news I just want to quickly bash out. Now, Chris, you know how much we love FIFA. Not gonna lie, FIFA. I'm a big fan of FIFA games. I'm obsessed with them on my Xbox 360. I've told you about the story where I was so obsessed with FIFA 13, where it got to the point all I did was play it online against other people. And I was playing a game, I was 3-0 up at half-time, cruising to a standard victory. I lost the game 4-3. See, I wasn't happy by this. So I literally got the disc, put it back in the case, closed the case, got into my car, drove all the way to my local game store and traded it in because I was so angry.
Wow.
Anyway, so there's a lot.
It's probably worth pointing out when we say we love FIFA the games.
Oh God, yeah, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not safe to say you love FIFA at the moment.
I remain wholly neutral on everything else, but the games are great.
When you found out that I'm not going to name names, but the head boy at FIFA decided to step down, the guy who everyone doesn't like, I just imagine like the whole footballing community being like, the ending of Star Wars Episode 3, I think it's called Return of the Jedi. Like, there's a big party scene when they've defeated Darth Vader and they're all
the Ewoks.
Yes, all the Ewoks. No, not the Ewoks, the bears, the little teddy bears, and they're like dancing, drinking. At the end, I just imagine everyone being like that. And then there's like the ghost of all the FIFA people, and they're all like smiling lovingly. Anyway, so back onto FIFA. So last year, or it might have been earlier this year, I can't remember. People were a bit upset because last year's edition of FIFA that was released on the PlayStation Vita and 3DS wasn't a full version. There was no online play, and it was just a legacy edition, which means it only had a few features, only had a few game modes, didn't include every feature that the main console version's got. And they still had the cheat to charge £45 for it, so people weren't happy by that. People are going to be even more upset by this news because EA have come out and said ahead of their press event in June, obviously at E3, they revealed that FIFA 16 will not be coming to PlayStation Vita or Nintendo 3DS this year.
Or did I read Wii U as well?
Well, no, I think Wii U was in there as well. I think you're right. Yeah, Wii U. Yeah, it's not going to be going to Wii U either. I mean, do you really want to play a football game on a Wii U?
Yes.
Do you? Whatever. There's no news on mobile versions yet. Normally they release a version for Android and Android and iOS, but they've not commented on that yet. So it's not looking too good for those platforms either. It's a shame. I mean, I did like FIFA on my iPad. It was good. So I got FIFA 15, I think, on there. It was fun. I'm not really too bothered about it not coming to Vita this year because of the train crash that was last year's one. But, I'm sure some people will still be disappointed. But if you do want a good football game on your PlayStation Vita, you just need to download the game that came out when the Vita first released, and that was just FIFA Football. Now, that one was a really good FIFA game. It had all the features. You could play online as well. So, there's still good football games out there. Don't be too upset. Dry your eyes, mates. I know you have to see how much this pain hurts, but you've got to walk away now. It's over.
It's over.
So, yeah. But they've said... I mean, the good thing about FIFA 16 is that they've revealed for the first time there's actually going to be female teams in FIFA, which, is nice. It's a long time coming, really. And there's actually quite a funny... The Onion. This satirical website, The Onion. There's a funny article saying EA finally reaches Mortal Kombat standards by having females in their games or something. It was very funny. Very funny. FIFA 16 not coming to Vita or 3DS, and we're very upset by this. Back to you, Chris.
Back to me in the studio. Hey, Colin, what's your favourite month?
April.
Well, mine is June, and what great news it is for me because here are some all cool things that are coming out in June, which is this month. Oh, what a treat!
What a treat!
Dr. Mario Miracle Cure was announced very, very recently, and it is coming out on June 11th on a 3DS. How cool is this? It's another one of those ones that they just announce and then deliver. They had like a mini Nintendo Direct.
Oh, it's not one of these games again, is it? This is just like they did a Luigi one of this last year, didn't they?
Well, Miracle Cure will also include a Dr. Luigi mode, which features L-shaped blocks rather than normal-shaped blocks.
What treat! What treat!
You can pre-order it. It's coming out only as a digital release on the Nintendo eShop. I really like Dr. Mario games, but I don't know if this one's got enough new things in to interest me, but then I'll probably still pick it up.
But they don't normally have new things in. It's just like a Tetris-style game, isn't it?
Yeah, but normally they add something, like jazzy or interesting. We'll see. Like Dr. Luigi was quite cool the first time because different shaped blocks. We'll see how this one is. But I like playing Dr. Mario because then it makes me feel good when I play as Dr. Mario on Smash. It's like linked,
You can play as Dr. Mario. That's pretty cool. In Smash.
You should play Smash Bros, Colin. Then you'd find these things out.
Who?
Hey. The other thing to talk about is the fact that Monster Hunter's June DLC has been announced. I won't bore you with too many of the groggy details, but there are outfits for to put your Palico, which is the little cat, in the shape of Devil May Cry's Dante. You know, the main guy from Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So it's some kind of Devil May Cry cross-platform stuff. There's also going to be outfits that let you dress them up as Animal Crossing characters, such as Mr. Rossetti and Isabel. Isabel, who's obviously the mayor's assistant, and Mr. Rossetti, who doesn't like it, Colin, when you do what?
You punch her.
Doesn't like it when you reset.
Okay. Sorry.
Close. There was loads of Monster Hunter news this week because it was a Japanese Nintendo Direct, and so they announced some more kind of jazzy Monster Hunter stuff there, including I'm just waiting for my thing to load. Including Monster Hunter X, it was called. This is coming from Gamatsu. You can watch the trailer on Gamatsu's website. We'll put a link up, so it's fine. It's going to be a new Monster Hunter game for the 3DS. It comes out in winter in Japan. New actions for the weapons, new monsters, new areas. Kind of more like, more as you'd imagine. But the idea is they're going to be adding more ways to fight so that you can kind of, because at the moment, even though there's like loads of different weapons, you end up, if you pick one weapon, you fight in one style. If you pick another weapon, you fight in another style. Whereas the point of this one is to make it so that you can, do different stuff and do more special attacks and more of a focus on flexible approaches to gameplay. 4 main monsters, 4 villages, and 4 different styles of play, according to the article, which is very exciting. The home village is a place called Baruna. It's set at the base of a big stack of mountains, and you'll be able to go back to some villages from the old games, which is quite cool. So yeah, it sounds quite interesting, really. It sounds like more of the same from Monster Hunter for you. And the thing is, I know that I'll buy this, Colin. I know that I'll buy it, and then I'll sink hundreds of hours into it, and I won't even get that far because that's what I do with Monster Hunter.
Yeah, what a result! Literally, put Monster Hunter on anything, and you'll buy it.
It's true.
It's true. It's truth. So that's very exciting. I didn't realise Star Wars Battlefront was coming out November 17th. Oh.
Great. Thanks for listening.
Cheers then. What were you talking about again? Sorry, I forgot. Right, I've got 2 bits of news, and I'm 2 bits of news left. And I've got the latest sales figures. Now, this is actually hot off the press. This only was released today. We've got the sales figures.
Hot off the press. That's what we should do with something hot off the press.
Beep, 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 beep. So these are the sales figures from the past week in Japan. This covers May the 25th to the 31st, 2015. This is according to Media Create. Obviously, the 2 big releases last week around the world were The Witcher 3 and Splatoon on Wii U. Splatoon has done so well. Like, I'm looking here at the sales figures. It's number 1 this week in Japan. It sold 144,818 copies in a week. That's pretty impressive. I know it's done well over here in the UK as well. It couldn't beat Witcher 3 to the number 1 spot in the UK, but it came a very respectable second, which is good. But looking at the list here, now we've got the list of games here and how they've sold this week, and it's also got the lifetime sales of them all as well. I mean, looking down this list, the first handheld game on here is Hatsu Miku Project Mirai DX, and that's on 3DS. That's number 2 for the past week. Number 4 is Minecraft PlayStation Vita Edition. That sold 12,000 this week. We've also got Mario Kart 8 for Wii U. That's obviously sold a lot again. We've got Puzzles and Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition on 3DS. That's done well. Not even heard of that. There's a lot of 3DS games here. Any of them particularly interesting? Not really. Animal Crossing is still holding in there, Chris. Number 20.
It's glorious.
Sold 2,500 last week. And in total, can you guess the total sales figures to date for its lifetime in Japan for Animal Crossing New Leaf?
2 million?
No, nowhere near.
Oh, more or less?
More, much more.
Really? Oh, 10 million?
No, 4 million.
Oh, cool. So double-wise.
That's pretty good. Looking here, there's a load of Mario games, a few Pokemon games. But yeah, the big exciting part of these two lists is the systems, all the consoles, and how they've sold this week. Interestingly, well, I'm going to read the top 10 list here. Once you finish playing with cling film.
Sorry, I was just moving a carrier bag. Sorry.
Great.
Sorry, I can't hear you over all this cling film.
Brilliant.
All this very important cling film that I'm moving. All of the cling film is very important.
I meant tinfoil. Get over it.
Right.
Right.
Cling film isn't far off.
Can I have a look at your bag? Can I have a look at your big sack? I'm looking. I'm waiting. Oh, that's a shame. Right. So anyway,
there you go.
Great. That's very blurry. Right. So top 10 systems in Japan this week. At number 10, we have the Xbox One, which has sold 522. Who? That's so bad. Number 9 is the PlayStation TV, which has sold 529, which isn't much better. 3DS LL 909, the normal 3DS over just under 1,500. PS3 has sold just over 3,000. The new 3DS is at 4,000. New 3DS LL is at 11,000, so a big jump from 5th to 4th there. Right, so the top 3. Now this is interesting. Number 1, I don't think many people are surprised. Number 1 is Wii U. That sold 17,000 this week. I'm assuming that Splatoon was a big reason for that. That's probably led to a lot of people buying a Wii U because of looking at how well Splatoon has sold. But number 2 and 3, now this is interesting. Number 2 is the PlayStation Vita. It's outsold the PlayStation 4 last week. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. It outsold the PlayStation 4 by about 300 copies. So the Vita sold 12,517 systems. The PS4 sold 12,272. So yeah, that's good. I mean, looking in this list, there is quite a few PlayStation Vita games here, which has probably helped. And as I said, Splatoon is literally kicking ass over in America, not America, over in Japan. So that's why Wii U is suddenly selling so well. So, I mean, the Wii U has sold 17,000 consoles this week. That's up 10,000 from the week before.
It's really good.
It is good.
That's really good.
I mean, there's not really been much advertisement for Splatoon over here. I've not really seen anything for it. It seems like the sort of game that they would market quite a bit because it appeals to quite a wide audience. But there you go. So that's the sales figures for Japan from the past week, and the Vita is doing well, which is always good to hear. And once Chris has finished typing, I'm sure he'll have things to say.
No, I've been listening. I'm just enjoying what you said.
That's good.
Why do you tell me off for everything I do? I'm just doing the article.
Cheers, mate. I can't be dealing with your unprofessional approach to podcasting anymore. What would that guy say who stole our idea? Anyway. Go on, Chris. Tell me a story, please.
I'll tell you a little story, Colin.
Please do.
Or maybe I'll tell you 2 stories.
Ooh.
Because maybe I told you one story and that story was so successful. I'm going to tell you another story.
Oh, great.
If you're Japanese, I'd be telling it to you a lot sooner. But because you're in Europe, I'll be telling it to you in 2016.
Okay. You've gone quiet.
You ruined it. That was my run-in. Bravely Second End Layer has finally been announced to come out in North America and Europe, and it's going to be coming out in 2016. The game sees Agnes Oblige, or Agnes Oblige, who's a character from the first game, gets kidnapped, and it's up to you, a fearless knight in service of Agnes, to go and rescue her. You can watch the full mini Nintendo Direct on our website. We'll embed it for you so you can see all of this. But yeah, it's good that this has finally been announced that it's going to come out in Europe. It looks it looks interesting. It looks like more the same of Bravely Default, Bravely Second. Really cool art style, very well drawn, very well fully realized art. Yeah, and hopefully it'll be really good. I struggled with the first one, but I want to jump back in for the second one. I want to get my teeth back into it. But that wasn't even the biggest game that was announced, Colin.
No.
Because rounding off the 3DS news, this was maybe my favorite thing. Did you ever play a game on the GameCube called Chibi Robo?
No.
Well, then you will not care, but other people will care about a new Chibi Robo game which is coming to the 3DS.
Oh, he's cute. I like him. He's very cute.
He's a little robot. It's going to be coming out to 3DS owners in the US in October. It's called Chibi Robo Ziplash. And as well as a game, there's going to be an amiibo as well. You have to look up this amiibo. It is the cutest thing in the world. It's so adorable. Chibi Robo, as we all know, is a tiny robot that goes around cleaning up stuff. In this game, it looks like you're going to get you're going to use your plug, which you plug into stuff, as a weapon, and also use it as a grappling hook.
Oh, it's so cute, Chris.
It's really adorable.
Oh, the punch.
The first one came out for the GameCube way back in 2005. And yeah, fingers crossed it'll come out and it'll be announced for Europe as well as America pretty soon. And hopefully the amiibo will do stuff. Oh, it's so adorable. So adorable. I love Chibi Robo.
He's got a little plug on his head.
Yeah, I know.
I love it. That's cool. That's my fave. Right, so we are going to end the news segment with quite a, well, in a way, it started off negative, but it's not as bad as we feared. Because last week, a man, one of our boys, Andrew House, he made a comment at Sony's 2015 Investor Relations Day. Yes, this is actually a thing. Investor Relations Day. I don't even know what that would be about. Investors relating to each other? I don't know. Andrew House is Sony Computer Entertainment's president and global CEO, and he sparked controversy by comments he made about what's planned from the company in the rest of 2015. And he had loads of things to say about PS4, loads of things to say about Project Morpheus. He even said he wanted to improve PlayStation Plus for subscribers.
Oh, what a guy.
But he then got onto the PlayStation Vita. The good news is he described the PlayStation Vita sales as strong and vibrant throughout Asia. But he also mentioned the vast declines in handheld sales throughout the Western markets. But what's got people upset is his comment. He referred to the PlayStation Vita and the Vita game-playing PlayStation TV as legacy platforms. And legacy platforms normally refers to consoles and platforms that are outdated and aren't of any significance anymore.
Yeah, it's a bit like old things, isn't it, rather than current things.
So basically he's saying, oh, it's old, we're moving on, we don't care anymore. So a lot of people are upset, but since then the statement has been released by PlayStation to clear up what he actually meant. And turns out, I've got the statement here. This is from a Sony representative. The statement says, what Andy mentioned as legacy platform was part of the write-off for PlayStation Vita components for the first generation of PlayStation Vita, which is no longer available in the market. And he did not directly mean the current PS Vita and PS TV models, which are available in the market. Our portable business will be continued, and many users are now enjoying PS4 remote play features, as well as original PlayStation Vita game titles on PS Vita and PS TV. So they cleared up one thing there. He was referring to the old versions of the Vita rather than the new versions. And the statement says, many people are enjoying Vita as a PlayStation 4 companion device, which is great.
It still doesn't send the best message, does it? Like,
no.
The fact they've had to come out and being like, what he meant was this, is a bit like, oh, well, maybe he should have said that instead of being like, oh, this thing's old and dead. Oh, sorry, I mean the plastic casing is old and dead.
It's sort of like backtracking desperately.
It's very backtracking, isn't it?
I don't know, because whenever anyone mentions anything negative about the Vita, all the fanboys come out of their closets and come out of their cupboards and start going crazy on the internet. But this really doesn't bode well for E3. I know E3 is a big conference, and I really don't think they're going to mention Vita at all, to be honest with you. There might be a passing thing where it says, you know, where they have the little video compilations of games, it might have all the indie games and all the ports that are on Vita, but I really can't see them focusing on it at all, which is a shame. But yeah, that was a bit of a foot-in-mouth situation from Andrew House last week, but they did clarify it quite quickly, so I guess that is a good thing. But it doesn't bode well as we go into the rest of the year in terms of PlayStation Vita. Sad times for everyone, I feel.
Yeah, it was quite. People reacted to it very fast, but he still shouldn't have said it.
No, well, I see what he meant, but he obviously wasn't very clear. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. We are done. The sun is setting in ye old England out my window here, and we are ready to say adieu. Adieu.
Auf
Auf
Wiedersehen.
Wiedersehen. Love it. Right, so before we go, we've got some housekeeping to do. And because I did it last week and I'm tired, I'm going to let Chris read them out. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Thanks for listening to this week's Heroes of Handheld, episode 94. For all the latest throughout the week, why not go over to @Handheld Podcast on Twitter or go to heroesofhandheld.com. You can also watch the show on YouTube by searching for Heroes of Handheld or like the program on Facebook. Remember, get in touch with your views, heroesofhandheld@gmail.com. Or you can give Colin a ring anytime. His phone number is 077
123 456. That's the one.
His phone number is 078 805 50666. Maybe. I might have just made part of that up. I feel really bad now because whoever has that number is going to get so much. Tell us about your latest Vita purchase. Wow. Thanks for listening. It's been good eggs. And we'll be back with more of the same in a week's time.
You can tell I'm tired. I'm slowly falling down in my chair. You can barely see my neck and face now. Oh, I'm so tired. This chair is comfy, but it's been good. I've got Rick Grimes behind me, my boy. I've got Romeo and Juliet to the left of me. Check it to the
Rick
left.
Grimes to the left of you. Romeo and Juliet to the right.
I am stuck in the middle with walkers. Anyway, thank you for listening, everybody. We're back next week, same time, same place for episode 95. Enjoy playing your Vita and your 3DS over the next 7 days before we talk to you again, because next week it'll be 7 days until E3. Very exciting. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Beautiful.
Wow. Hey, we're still on YouTube. What a treat.
That was a treat. Oh, man. I feel very tired.
Hey, this is good. Does anyone want a demo code for Puzzle Dragons Super Mario Bros. Edition, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate, or Ironfall? If you do, get your 3DS out. And
No. Let's do it as a competition.
No, because it's a QR code.
Oh, right.
And it's only a demo anyway.
Great.
But scan these if you fancy. Hold your 3DS.
Great. That quality though.
Please, just tuck in. Don't be shy. Have a little scan.
Fantastic. Great.
Wow. Colin, stop talking. I'm trying to give away the QR codes.
Fuck off.
Scan. Come on, don't be shy. Tuck in. Scan it now. Scan it. Go home and scan it. Listen to this and scan it. Scan everything. Scan it now. Scan it.
Scans.
Ah, I'm fine.
You're right, mate.
Had to get that out of my system.
Good.
Dark. There we go. Wow. So long, YouTube. This has been fun. Thanks for all the fish.
So long, and thanks for all the dicks. Anyway.
Bye, YouTube. Say bye.
Bye.